Well, if the virus doesn't get me, whatever's inside this just might. Here we go with a Komatsu 500, WA500. We get to do the most funnest job in the world. Because, you know, engineers, I don't know, some should be just taken out to the backyard and slapped around. Today, we get to change the fan motor for the AC heater, which is buried down in here. See it right there. Now, in order to do this, first thing you want to do is get all that carpet or whatever rubber mat out. Somebody was previously in here before, and they had actually cut this part, so part of that mat was still in here because it's hard to get it out. So somebody did that already previous. You can see the parts right there. So that's job number one. Get that out. Job number two, if you can, vacuum it out as much as you can, because they're usually pretty disgusting in here. Now, usually when you just want to check your circuits, because here's your board, it's hooked up into the computer. Just to check it out, you got to take this little piece off, just right back there. And so there's like 4 bolts or 4 screws right here, 2 more on the back. You take that chunk of plastic out, and there lies your fuses hidden behind everything. So you're going to take the machine apart just to check or replace fuses. And up here you got one relay, and there's another one further down there. Or no, that's not the relay, that's your actual control fan, whatever junk. Too many electronics for something simple. But somebody's been in here before, I can kind of tell, but I'm not too sure. Like, I'd have to see Komatsu that hasn't been messed with yet. But basically, I'm pretty sure that is factory. But yeah, but like I said, somebody has been in here before. There's stuff all over the place. Not that it matters. Komatsu's usually their bolts loosen off and fall off and stuff anyways. But yeah, like I said, I think that's factory Komatsu. Yeah. So then you come over here, and there's another piece of plastic here you got to remove anyways too, as well, just to see the fan, make sure the fan's working or not. In this case, the fan is starting to go. I reached in there and actually had to spin it to get it working again. So it's starting to go. It's starting to seize up. And so they basically put the fan in and then built everything on top of the fan. The older ones, the 480s and whatnot, at least there's a plate you can get underneath it, underneath the cab. You just remove the plate and the fan's right there. You can take it out that way. This one, not so much. And I noticed plus somebody was in here, and you know, they pulled the sensor out of it. There's the wires for the sensor. So that's another thing too. When you're doing this, make sure you don't do this with a little sensor. I'm sure it's just a little air sensor or whatever. Hasn't worked forever, so whether I'm gonna fix it or not, I don't know. Because obviously it's been like that for a while. But yeah, so I'm looking at taking everything apart, possibly getting the AC sucked out, everything, just to change that little motor. Good job, engineering. That's another thing that's lost on some people. I don't know how it's lost on people sometimes, but when you do this, you got to pull all these out, take a picture, whatever, and mark them. Bloody well mark them so you know which one goes where afterwards. You wouldn't believe how many times I've had to show up to a job site and had to take all this apart or something similar and figure out what switch went where, because somebody didn't mark them. Well, almost there. Getting ready to pull the steering apparatus out of her. Actually, this is probably the easiest part of the whole job. Well, I spoke too soon. Foiled once again by the engineering department. So now I guess I got to take all this off. Ay, ay, ay. Well, next is the ductwork and then the wipers. Yes, the whole thing. And after that, I don't know, I don't think I got to remove this. Okay, here's the rest of the steering part. That looks like it'll clear. And I think that, yeah, there's 2 bolts there. I'm hoping to do this without taking the R134 out of the AC. But you never know. I'm hoping, got my fingers crossed. I don't care if I got to cut some plastic and redesign something in here. I want this so it's easy to get to, or at least easier, rather than costing tons. And getting closer. It's now standing alone. I ended up taking that brace out. 2 bolts, lays this right down, which isn't too bad. Now, right out of the way, you can get right in here. As you can see, took the wipers off. There's your heater lines, your AC line, drain line. I don't know where the other AC line is. Probably stuck in behind there. Okay, I can see it just right there. Okay, well, here we go. I think we're on phase 10 of this project. Ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. Well, I've gotten this far. It's out. It's here, it's hanging there. My thing is though, sometimes it really helps to have the new part with you. Give you some hints, but in this case, this doesn't help me whatsoever. It appears to be inside a casing, inside of a casing. And I'm not too sure. I see 2 screws in the back. So I don't know if that holds the motor in or. Well, regardless. I think it's lunchtime. I'm taking a break. This is stupid already. Get in there. There appears to be 2 on the bottom, very bottom, and 2 right there. You can see the 1 right about there. So 4 all together. Let's hope this comes out. This is ridiculous. Well, that didn't do nothing. Still stuck in there. Well, I guess next step is to split it in half. Why not? Let's just keep going. Sure. And eureka! We kind of sort of got it half apart. Holy. Look at that mess. That is crazy. Well, now the hard part's done. I just don't know where to go from here. Alright, so what I did here is, while it's out, I couldn't get my fat arm up inside there to disconnect the power wire. So So I just snipped it right there. I'll put a nice little doish on there. Real nice connector. And while it's out, here you plug in right here. Just unplug that and she slides right out. Flip it over. 4 more screws to go. 4 more screws. And that'll be the end of 4 hours worth of work. Then it's on to disassembly. Then it's on to reassembly. Another 4 hours. Oh, terrible. Well, I guess figure while we're in here, might as well clean that up a little bit, eh? What do you think? Yeah, yeah. See why that's so loose, maybe? I don't know. Got my trusty little tool here. Shit's about to get real. Let's do this. Well, here we are, next day. First thing morning. Sun's getting up there. Beautiful sunrise. I got about this far with it last night until the sun started going down and it started getting dark. So I had to pack up and get the heck out of here. Just put this in, just loosely, whatever. There's a sensor right here. I got to plug in yet. I don't know why they got one of those, but so I got to get that plugged in yet. Get all these wires, go through every wire, tighten this back down. Just did a little bit of cleanup here. Steering's in, ready to go. Got to do all the wiring there, clean some other stuff up, start zip tying on and on and on and on and on. It's like the song that never ends in here. Jeez. Million P clips and this little bracket. Yeah. Wiring doesn't go anywhere anyways. The bracket doesn't need to be in there right in the way of everything. Now I can lift this up, put that wherever I want. It's good. Gives me some room. I have to smoothen it off whatever I cut here just to make sure. I don't want to get cut. Oh, everything seems good. Alright, good. I like it. Oh, this whole going off memory thing just sucks. Trying to remember where every little bolt, nut, screw goes to. Just bites. You know, if a guy was smart, he would just, mark his nuts or screws with like a marker or paint marker of some sort, so you know which one goes where and what have you. But you know, I ain't no genius, so it is what it is. I'll just keep plugging away until I run out of screws. So it's also very important before you throw everything back together is to make sure everything works the way it's supposed to. Double check, you know, your safety switches, your fan. Make sure everything else is working the way it should. So far so good. Lighter works. Ignition works. The thing you came to fix originally works. Perfect. Yep. Oh. Just junk out of the way here real quick, just to make sure. Let's see. Yep. Okay, good. I think we're ready to rock and roll here. Just got to fix that one little wire back there still. Might extend it. And then, yeah. I think we're going to be ready to rock and roll here right away. Take it out for a spin. You know, drive around, enjoy the sunshine while I can. This is gonna get cold out here again soon. Good thing it's warmed up and I had to do this job, or I would be freezing. Well, there we go. We put the carpet in. What a wrestling match that is. So dumb. Like I said earlier, like somebody cut that there's separated so you don't have to take all that out. I mean, certain things could be a lot better. I'm sure somebody put some thought into it. Look, I don't know why the hell half this junk is in here like this. That's probably why we call it junk to begin with. Anyways. Still being a pain in the ass. Alright. Well, hopefully, let's take it out for a little cruise. So far, everything else seemed like it was working pretty good. Backup camera's working good. That's working good. That's working good. All the safety devices, that was working good. That's good. Turn that on. Alright. With this one, you got to enable everything. Make sure it works. Kind of dumb. That threw me off, man. One day it took me, I don't know, about an hour to half an hour to figure out what the heck that was. And I figured it out. Some sort of safety device. I've never seen that before on any other loader. Anyways, out of park. And what do we want? Let's go to second gear. Let's do this. Chase the boss around. Sounds like fun.